to do this on? North Shroud? Yes, I do. Okay, slight side track. Where is it? Yeah. I was gonna say, did I not summon? Oh, I summoned you. Good lord. So this is one of the zones that I need to farm a fate in. So that's what we're, well, farming an Atla from a fate. So that's what we're doing right now. We're in the zone. So we're gonna farm out our Atla here. Just killing this guy. That's all there is to this fate. Nope. Good lord. We're gonna be very low level when we fight this guy. Slowed. How about this one? No, but it apparently gave us enough experience to level up. What do I have to do for this one? Ah, another very low level one. Where else are they? Ah. Wanna target it maybe? Not want to give me one in this zone, huh? This is supposed to be one of the zones. I definitely don't have its Atma. North Shroud is supposed to give me the Archer. I have Scorpion, Lion, and Crab. No stone for you. farm all these guys out. Should be the last one. Would you... I don't have this read wrong, do I? Side quests, weapon enhancement, up in arms, North Shroud, Atma the Office. Oh, Archer. North Shroud. Definitely don't have the Atma the Archer. No. These are... Is this the one I think it is? Those are... That one's annoying. Fighting lunar golems. Are there more of them? At this level. One of them keeps running off. That's what's going on. Off on the skulls. Ah, we got a rank up on our companion. This zone does not want to drop its Atma. Oh my god. Let's try this one. This is the hardest time I've had yet getting an Atma to drop. By quite a margin. Wondering if the level of the fate has some effect? Looking for you. chocobo, can I? Drop the bloody thing, would ya? Very big ocean. There we go. Finally got the ammo. Okay. Took a few runs. Like that one. Okay. Now we can go and deal with the XIV. Squawk. Greetings, Archon. Mood of the camp dampened it is, dark and dreary. Lie dormant, Dezelqualon does, like deflated balloon. Fly without Tadaramu's touch it cannot. Rely on Tadaramu we did, more than Zezel realized. Become heart of a coddle 9, Tadaramu has. Despise this helpless feeling, Zezel does. Ask Archon to visit Gridania and parley with the island skyways, Zezel would. Squawk! Only fledglings sit and screech and do nothing. Tadaramu needs to fly, and give him that chance we will. Caw, caw, caw! So serious Zezel has become. Bring small featherless one back to us, Archon must. Oh, that takes me to Ul'dah. Okay, so we gotta go to Gridania. We got something to do while we're there. That is Gunbreaker, Carling. We gotta talk to Miqo'te in Gridania. She is at the Carling Canopy. She's the Adventurers Guild. Riotous. Welcome to the Carling Canopy, friend. You've made quite a name for yourself, hadn't you? At times I'd swear that even the trees themselves whisper tales of your exploits. A letter? Let me see. Oh. Why, it would seem there'll be even greater demand for eel pies in the coming days. And once again the oven calls, not that you'll find me complaining. After all, some go their entire lives without knowing how it feels to have one of their creations beloved by Eorzeans the realm over, which, come to think of it, reminds me of a story. How did it go again? Ah, yes. Many years ago, when I was no taller than the counter before us, a Lalafellin artisan and his daughter came here to the Twelveswood. Of the circumstances which brought them here I know little, for the father was a man of few words. What I do know is that they had left behind their home, traveling far and wide across the realm before settling on Gridania as their new home. The elementals care little about borders drawn by men. All who treat the forest with compassion are welcome within. Sadly, people in those times were not quite so understanding. Poor man and daughter endured name-calling, spiteful pranks, and worse. My grandfather took pity on them, offering them shelter in this building. In those days, it was little more than a glorified storage cabin, far from the bustling center of activity it is today. My grandfather minded the watermill, you see, as his father before him. A respected position that afforded our family a certain status among our peers, though not all approved of my grandfather befriending the outsiders. None dare give voice to their objections. With time, Gridanians came to understand that whencesoever they hailed, the man and his young daughter were honest, peaceable folk, no different from any of us. With the blessings of their newfound countrymen, the love the two harbored for their new home deepened. When talk arose of erecting a new water wheel, the father, originally a shipwright by trade, was among the first to offer his services. My grandfather soon joined him. Though not without hardships along the way, the wheel eventually rose, standing even today as one of Gridania's greatest architectural achievements and a keystone of our very livelihood. If you're not in too much of a hurry, I would like very much to show it to you. But before we depart, I would ask of you a small errand. Would you be so kind as to pick 4 Carline blossoms about town and bring them to me? I would accompany you, but alas, the kitchen calls. Quite needy. Search for a Highland. Is this who I'm talking to? Sorry, were you addressing me? If you have a business proposal or seek employment, then I must ask that you first make an appointment through the official company represent... Wish to know Tadaramu's whereabouts? I assume you're referring to Master Tadaramu? Forgive me, but I must inquire as to your relationship with the chairman's son. I fail to see how someone of your apparent... Arg, it's you! You were in that filthy XIV camp. You're the one who conspired with those Battalan savages to kidnap Master Tadaramu. Well, I'm certainly not about to share any information with a disreputable ruffian like you. Gone. Shoot. Now I shall be late in boarding the chairman's flight to Kerthus. He's a very important meeting at the observatorium with very important people. I wonder wherever he could be. Wherever will I find Tadaramu? We're going to look for the Carline memories, which are in a variety of places. Oh, it's rather blatant. There's 2 in New Gridania, 2 in Old Gridania. Fear and Odin in the Shroud. Why do I not have that unlocked? Archon, your timing never fails to amaze. Unless I'm mistaken, you have knowledge of the Elder Primal Odin, correct? I thought. Well, as you know, you have long pursued the Dark Divinity, from the pages of arcane scripture to the Shroud itself. Finally, we have a plan to put his prowling to an end. Brother Pepsi has the command. He has personally requested your aid in this venture and awaits you at Earth's Fount. I'm sure he will give you the details once you present yourself. Godspeed, Archon. That's carpenter. It's a quest turn-in. Conjurer, botanist, leather worker, lancer. Can I have anything from you? But oh, that's something I should probably do. Oh, geez, I really need to give you points. Yeah. Well, that should help my my chocobo be a little bit more useful. Apparently, I hadn't leveled him up and I hadn't given him any skill points in 4 ranks. Forest Run. Okay, that's flower number 4. Closest spot to her is the plaza. Ah, welcome back. Were you able to procure the Carleen Blossom I asked of you? Yep. Ah, how lovely. Though hardly a rare sight in Gridania, these flowers never fail to bring a smile to my face. The water wheel I would show you is best seen from the jadeite flood. Go on ahead, I'll she'll be along after I see to my duties here. So where now? Ah, she's got us going off to the central shroud now. Okay. So that's where we will depart that quest for the moment. The Royal's probably going to want us to be... Are you inside a building or not? You're in this building? Yep. You again! However did you know where to... Well, I'll not stumble like that a second time. Keep quiet. Chairman Tadabaru is engaged in extremely delicate negotiations and is not to be disturbed. You're still asking after Master Tadaramu? Will you not be silent? If you absolutely must know, the young man accompanied us here as part of his continuing education in company management. His chambers are guarded by our loyal, not to mention lethal, retainers, so you can forget any plans to spirit him away again. I can, huh? Okay, so he's somewhere in this circle. And it's... are you? It's not going to be up there. Oh. Okay, so it's somewhere like... I have a feeling it's gonna be up here. Oh? Seriously, where is it? This one? There you are. Oh, Rakon, what are you doing here? Zazel sent you? Broken without me, you say? I never imagined that the absence of my skills would be so keenly felt. Flattered, but as dearly as I would love to stroll out the door with you, I'm afraid things aren't that simple. Father dragged me all along on the pretense that I would be learning the trade, then confined me to this room. I'm practically a prisoner. Do you see the guards on your way in? Should I attempt to take even one step across the threshold, those company-bought thugs will stop me in my tracks. Must be a way past them that doesn't involve outright violence. Have it? You must need to speak with Templeton, the Skywind's employee stationed here at the observatorium. He's aided us with component crafting before. As one of the few people in the company I might consider an ally. Wily he may be, but it is that exact trait that will serve us now. Yes, Templeton. Good old Templeton. That is not a door. Okay. Templeton's all the way down here. Good day to you, adventurer. What might poor Templeton do to serve you on this cold and miserable day? Come to think of it, fairly well describes every day in this godforsaken, crotch-infested stretch of icy hell. Looking to break Master Totoro from his confinement, are you? Oh, no, I'm sure I couldn't possibly lend my assistance to such a shady undertaking. I certainly wouldn't suggest the use of a particularly potent sleeping potion. Wink, wink. Our sellswords have grown fond of drinking mulled wine in an effort to forget their freezing extremities, and I'm sure they wouldn't question the appearance of an older bottle on the table. It would hardly be your fault if they overindulged and found themselves snoring under the table till morning. Away with you and your nefarious schemes. Be sure to pass on my regards to the chairman's son. Right, it was like... Okay, we did that thing. Talk to Tadaramu, please. Archon, what news? Was Templeton able to offer a solution to our dilemma? Gave you what? A sleeping potion. Well, I hope this concoction has no ill-lasting effects. If past experiences ought to go by, those retainers should be well into their cups by now. I'll sneak past as quickly as I dare and meet you outside. Doop boop boop. So far, so good, it would seem. Now, let's return to Zezel's camp before my father concludes his negotiations. A word with you, Master Tadaramu. Coulson, when did you arrive in Carthus? It is good to see you. I know what you're planning, lad, and you know what will happen should you go through with it. Your father will not tolerate this defiance. Taking his side? I thought you at least would support me in this. May take a moment to consider your father's perspective. He only wants what is best for the future chairman of Highwind Skyways. The world you stand to inherit is not the world in which the rest of us live. There are commoners and there are kings. We are all born into our fates and the responsibilities they bring. I am no prince. I am but the privileged brat of an airship empire. How did that empire come into being? Highwind Skyways merely copied the balloons of the XIV and hopped a little into the air. They're not for a company's reputation or its profits. Fortune, prestige, its aims are so low. Zezel and his Akatl 9 are reaching for the heavens. They have grand dreams and a passion unlike any I've seen before. Seek to restore their lost wings, and God's damn it, I would help them. I would share in that vision, soar in that same sky. That is all I wish for. Go, Master Tadaramu. I'll speak with the chairman myself. I will convince him of the depth of your desire, as you have convinced me. You will? I underestimated you, good sir. Those eyes, that mask of determination. It's like witnessing a decades-old memory come to life. There can be no doubt that your grandfather's blood runs hotly in your veins. Coulson. Quickly now, off with you. The longer I stand here in the biting cold, the more my hip starts to ache. Ah, for the fervent heat of youth. Come, Archon. We have kept Zezel waiting long enough. I don't need to mount up for this. I need to not click that button. Jump back to Gridania! Or Algard Float. North Shrub. I know where I'm going. Chief Todalok, your designer has returned. Oh? Squawk! Fogged up for no reason, Goggles did. Not tears of joy, no. Humidity. Listen well, Tadaramu. Make up for lost time we must. Work and work until Dezoquan is complete, until hands ache and sweat turns to blood. Yes, sir. Found you. Found camp we have. Reeking pile of dung hidden in forest. No, not now. Knew you were sneaking about, we did, but know why we did not until now. Preening feathers for forest people, making unsanctioned balloon. Crime against goddess and our people you've committed. Harsh your punishment will be. Break it all, burn it down. You to stew in fear we shall. Hear of this treachery on Natalan brothers will. Squawk. Pluck break their feathers, snap their bones. Sizzle, what do we do? Found us, they have. Sizzle knew this day would come. Squawk! Too soon. Too soon it is. If but complete Dazzle Colon we can. And we are now honored with the Akadal 9, new quest available from Jezel Tuan II. And that is Never Be Royal completed. Thanks to your diligent efforts, the construction of Dazzle Colon is almost complete. With the return of Talaramu, a few final adjustments are now all that stand between the Akadal 9 and the distant skies.